Hey, how's it going? This is your Daily Sweet Talk for April 15th, 2025. Why did all the onions get together at a state park? They wanted to have a family reunion. A while back, I used to run an edits channel, which was essentially just a channel where I dumped anything that I edited using pre-existing materials. Memes, videos of people, clips of like YouTubers singing where I would put the actual instrumental from the song under it. I used to do a lot of mashups, but they weren't very good because they were through iMovie, and the keys were not right most of the time because I didn't know what I was doing. But for a couple years there, that was like the main thing I was working on, was like practicing my editing through memes and stuff like that. And so, but it was always like, it was the concept was that there's virtually no original content on the channel. That was the idea, was that it would be all pre-existing material. There were like a few exceptions, but that was basically true. Think of like a YouTube poop, which I've only done a few of in my time, but a true YouTube poop to me has, again, virtually no pre-existing material. There can be exceptions, like maybe some images that you've made that you want to like illustrate a thing in it, or the captions, stuff like that. Or maybe if you want to do a YTPMV, maybe the melody is original. But again, the idea to me is that it's creativity through limitation. The limitation is that all of the you can't make anything original. The thing you're making that's original is through the process of taking all these pre-existing things. It's like a video collage. Think of like an art collage. You're taking all these pieces of other people's art, and you're turning it into a new piece of art. Sort of like generative tech. Stay with me. Hang on. I know this is a divisive topic. Image generators or video generators or any of those generative tech things, AI art and the like, they are taking pieces of other people's art and blending them until they're unrecognizable and they're turning them into a new piece of art. At this point, it's like to the point where you can't even tell they're collages. Like, that's the point, is that they're supposed to look original. The point isn't to make a collage. The point is to make art, and it is art. It may not be good art. That's a debate that can be had, and I can make the stance that I do find this stuff tasteless usually. I'm hoping we can have friendly discussion about this, because I do think it's a divisive topic. I don't think it falls neatly to one side or the other, despite what some people may think. So that's kind of divisive in itself to say that, I guess. But I do find it sort of tasteless. When I see like a YouTube thumbnail that is like AI generated, I say don't recommend channel, because I know a lot of those channels are basically just content farming. If there's so little input put into your own content, that then I'm not interested. Like I because I already hate content farms as it is. So if it's farmed to that point where there's like barely any actual like human input, then I'm not interested. But I know some artists do use this tech in ways to advance their own art, and I'm sure some there's a lot of I'm not as into the meme scene these days. I'm sorry to talk about it that way, but that's what it is. So I'm not sure how it's being used, but I know there used to be a lot of like text to speech stuff back in the day. So I'm sure it is used to a point, because that tech has evolved so much, to where now it's sort of a little tasteless. I think there can be a sweet spot to it, but I think you have to be careful with it. I don't think I would use it. But the point of using other people's materials should be creativity through limitation. It shouldn't be to take. I think that's the main point I want to make.